the defense boost also will cause your score to be shit. Alright, I'm pretty sure we are about to start the trial, which should be interesting. We don't need Death Counter Chan. Yeah, good job, Tux. So, to catch everybody up, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are in the final chapter of the first game. We have to prove that Gina didn't kill the pawnbroker. She was found in the same locked room as him, holding a gun. It looks really bad, but we know she didn't do it. Susato got summoned back to Japan because her father is sick, so we have to, like, basically fly solo for this. We had a lot of free time with Iris, which was something. Sholmes got shot, so he's recovering in the hospital. Yeah, I think that about catches us up. Alright, 17th April, the small hours, St. Sinner's Hospital, Ward 3. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It has been an honor and pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. Oh, is he talking to Susato? Yeah. My dear madam. Is she asking him to help us? She is the best. Big respect for Susato. Well, I definitely should have played that, like, extra 30 seconds last weekend, so that would have been an amazing stopping point. When I awoke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last, one that I would remember for the rest of my days. The Old Bailey. Good morning, Gina. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So where's your friend, then? Sorry? You know, her in the fancy dress. Susato, or however you say it. I don't know. Ah, Miss Susato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, Arya? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off. It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again one day. Even so. But you, Gina, you only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two. Knew it. Why does she have the cat? How are you feeling, Ginny? Did you manage to sleep? Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Ah, Waggy! Great way to show your support, kitty. Let him have a good nose around. What harm can it do? Oh, that reminds me. I bought a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Runo? Ginny? Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Nah, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. Huh? The bad news was a weather report? So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover, and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yes. Alright then, what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it? I couldn't give you a monkey's. I couldn't give a monkey's, really. If only all good news canceled out the bad. And look, the trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes and pick purse plunder. See? How do you like that? Let them say what they want. See if I care. I can't because you're covering your face. Don't worry, Runo will show everyone that this headline is nonsense. I will? And then in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be Discharged diver is dauntless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Runo? Yes. Let's hope so. Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it? It's like she was still here. Oh, interesting. The paper is in the court record. Good luck then, Runo. I'll do what I can. Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be at your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest, but thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. Oh yeah, Iris. Yes, Ginny? Well, I was wondering is all. About Sholmes. Did they fix him up all right? Yes. The operation was a great success, but Hurley still hasn't come around yet. Eh? I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Oh, right. No Susato-san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime. Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense. The trial is about to begin. Please make your way into the courtroom. It's time then. Yes, let's go, Gina. Iris. Lead the way, Runo. I'm kind of not happy that Iris is going to be standing in for Susato. Oh well. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. Alright, the Old Bailey courtroom. Oh, God, I think I recognized a bunch of the judges. Or, jurors, rather. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Lord Van Zeeks, My lord, remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from public prosecution service? It was some 5 years ago, my lord. Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again today. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior? In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past. Was there a time skip? There was a 2-month time skip, since the 3rd trial of the game. So basically, Susato and Ryunosuke arrived in Great Britain. The same day they had the McGilded trial, and then, like, I want to say it was the next day or next, like, 2 days, a few days later, they defended the Japanese literature guy. I can't remember his name. And then 2 months kind of time skipped after they started staying with Sholmes, and now we're here. You dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess, I find it more than a little befuddling, Counsel. There are 2 types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGilded, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. Yes, I just about managed to work that out. Thank you. Magnus McGilded. If I'd known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome, those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the far east, the Nipponese. Oh, so he's racist. What? Did he really just say that? He means you now, Runo. I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? That torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeek's eyes, was that directed solely at me? Or was he talking about all Japanese people? An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeeks. You think he just secretly really likes Japanese people and wants to be our vampire boyfriend? Throw him in the pile, honestly. We've got a dragon boyfriend, a robot boyfriend, a dead boyfriend, like... What's another? Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors. Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Fucking knew it! The typewriter is back! Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, wait! It's that revolutionary guy from the second case is all the way on the right? Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant? Fuck, I have to remember all these voices. Former lieutenant of the British Army here. Don't you know, chaps like me were born ready. Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything. And I'm ready for it.
I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. But could I have?
What is she doing? Women indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop. Okay, what happened to her? Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Is something wrong, Runo? Oh, not exactly. It's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know? So I've been led to believe, but something tells me I'm being duped. Very well. Now, Lord Van Zeeks, the court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Apparently, Kisuan. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windebank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. Oh, Steven, hey. Are we done leaking? We began Ace Attorney 20 minutes ago. I actually do need to get some water, though, so I'm gonna grab that before we get any further. Like, this is about to ramp up, so I will BRB. Kev, if I preheat the oven, if I preheat the oven, will you season the chicken in the next 10 minutes or whenever it's ready? Yeah. Okay. I need some water.
What time, Paul? Starting to think you're some type of cactus.
I drank a couple glasses of water today. Yes, 'tis, Kevin. I'll be redeeming these high shoes now. You never started? You were dead in bed for... Oh! Well, that's right. You woke up pretty early, I think, today, right? Because you had obligations. You checked? Even back in the 1890s, London had 5 million plus. Holy Jesus. We did a ton of SMT. And now we're winding down with some Ace Attorney. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near-instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? That the person who shot him is shorter than him? It means that the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say. Well, when we saw the two people that were inside the pawnbrokery, one of them was, like, very short. Like a little person. So I'm sure that's gonna come up. I am positive. Okay. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. The autopsy report has been submitted to the court record. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only two persons present. The victim, Mr. Windibank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Welcome back, Heavy. Well, that's it then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that grubby little girl a pickpocket anyway? She's one of those filthy drabs that live in the slums in the east side. Oh, well, it was only a matter of time before she got something.
Objection.
We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. Well. My learned Nipponese friend, it is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good gracious! After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pick-purse or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth. The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Zeeks. At once, my lord. Okay, so we got the floor plan and the revolver. So much evidence, my goodness. This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Runo. I think that's because it has. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windibank on 16th April of this year. Oh. So before we get into them, what was just submitted? You lost power? Oh no.
However,
well, guess we'll have to watch some Ace Attorney. I don't know.
show.
Yeah, Tux, I was like, however what?
was entirely my bad.
Uh-huh. Why do they look like that? Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is, baddie. Professional baddie. My name's Ringo Skulkin.
I shouldn't say things I don't understand.
Occupation's, same as him. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right. We're what they call... What? The Three Skulkin Brothers.
What is this?
What are you looking at me like that for? Don't lump me in with you lot. Core blimey. That's cold. Don't you know what we're going for? Through even? It's our older bruv. Lost contact with him we have, so we're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And then last night we came across you, the very spit of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? He is, Nash, he is. The very spit of him. Why do they have fruits? So we decided there, and what was we gonna do? We was gonna call ya Big Bruv Sulky.
Yeah, honey.
Is it? This is Dragon Quest, apparently, right? That was very loud.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, leave it out, you two. Sulky Skulkin? And that's before he's run out of chips. Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson.
Oh my goodness.
Beg your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. Thieves they are. These three? No, my lord, begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with the intent to burgle. But in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. By Jove! You mean to say, what an extraordinary coincidence! Indeed, my
Oh my
lord.
goodness.
While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. He's standing on a box. Order! Order! The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings. Though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in this stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow. Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. What happened?
The bag is open.
Oh.
What's in there? Trying to wash my hands before I touch the other stuff. They might have gotten contaminated.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question and what exactly you saw. Happy to. 'Cause a skulkin's never skulkin'. Get out of it! Oh. So I can't press them yet. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and the gaff's door was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign begging us to go in, it was. Is the prosecution just Hubert? Who? But once we got inside, core blimey lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet. A terrible coincidence, it would seem. I mean, they both are kind of vampire-like, so maybe. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and within only the victim and the accused were found. That's literally Hubert. I must say it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Good evening, Dots. Happy Sunday. We're back at the Ace Attorney as usual. I really need to find another night where I can regularly play this game so that we have more than one. Counsel? Yes. What's the matter, Runo? Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair at the stand. I know that it's all nonsense, because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. Alright. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and the gaff's door was ajar, see? The front door of Windibanks was ajar, you say? What time of night was this? Must have been about 1, right, Ringo? Yeah, I'd say so, right, Sulky? How would I know? The place would have been shut. The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town. You see what he's doing, Kiv? He's waving some fish and chips. Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. Ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not so sure, Nash. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Silky? Me old mucker. I'm honestly not sure, Rosenlock. I think I might take a little bit of a break and then jump into it. Leave me alone. There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim. That is pure conjecture. Perhaps, but it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside. That's right, that's what happened. It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, it was. Hold it! What are you trying to suggest, that you had to go in? Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say. Don't they, Ringo? They sure do, Nash, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself as the whim of thieves, does it? It weren't no whim, I'm dead sure of that. It weren't, Nash, it weren't, like we said at the time. You don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it. It was a sign that our long-lost brother was inside. They're not very good liars, are they? Well, you can't deny it. It led us to a bloke, what looks like our bruv. Like I said, cut it out. Those chips are getting a chomping today. But once we got inside, Corblimey Lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. Hold it! A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that? Yep, just one, Governor. I can swear to that. It was, Nash, it was. Ain't that right, bruv? The firearm used belonged to the victim himself. Yes, Mr. Windibank always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter. Right, I remember. Something burning?
Smelled like it, but there's nothing.
When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense. Mr. Windibank always used to say he only ever kept
in peace.
a single bullet loaded. That's true. I remember him saying that as well. So we can say with considerable certainty that only one single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon. Yes, my lord, we can. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful. Isn't anybody gonna ask why Gina was unconscious in there? Yeah, we went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one door to that to the storeroom. Of course, there was a little oil lamp burning, not much to see by. And the door was hidden behind a curtain and all. That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by that curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door? Yeah. Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I would think. Well... Your turn to rabbit, Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh? Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped with fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is the former. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. Thank you, Counsel. So, I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet. Okay, well then who the hell shot Sholmes? Hold it! You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? Well, it was Bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out. Me lucky lockets. So, with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left, nice and quietly, you say. That's right, Governor. Nothing we ate more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are, not bludgers. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out, me lucky lockets. So, you'd clearly like us to believe. Come again? As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say? Ah! Blimey, Governor! You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway. It was. Why the bleeding Nora? Didn't you mention that before? You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Herlock Sholmes. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually. There was a rumor he'd been rushed to the hospital. The great Sholmes, that's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of having a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder found around the muzzle, as you say, Counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Interesting. I feel like we should probably... take a look at that gun. So, there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 cylinders. Yes, which tells us that only one shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes, it happened almost as soon as we'd walked in through Windibank's door. I'll make those brothers pay. Now, my learned Nipponese friend. Yes? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. Let's make sure that
For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder, but the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial.
Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there.
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast to your incompetence and move on.
Evidence that these two fired a gun before they left Windibanks that night. Hey, what's up, Grant?
The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop last night?
Well, we could present the gun because there's a bullet missing from the chamber, but I feel like that's probably not... So that does show that there's blood. I'm gonna try presenting the picture. This is probably wrong, but let's just give it a shot. The evidence is in this portfolio.
What? What on earth have you there, counsel?
During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains.
Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponese of you.
Well, anyway, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio.
And you claim to have evidence. The court is demanding therein?
Yes, my lord.
No more dallying then, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once! What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? Take that! What is that? Explain!
It's a photographic print taken at Windibank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident.
From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged in there.
Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windibank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death.
The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th.
That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night.
Arrgh!
Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zeeks?
If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection.
What?
But you'll forgive me for flinging my hollowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street.
Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup.
We had a deal. You weren't gonna get into them details. Tell him, Sulky. Set the bloke straight.
I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zieks knew their testimony would most certainly expose the extent of their crimes.
It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact.
To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zieks? Hey, Gandalf. Oh dear. No, you.
As has been established, at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brothers' gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim.
Why not?
In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windibank at all.
That is so convoluted. So that's it. That's it. We have nothing to do with it.
We didn't, Nash, we didn't. That's what I reckon. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and, let us not forget, attempted murder.
Quite a catalog, eh, fellas?
Ah! We're in for it now, bruv. Now then, let us take a moment of consideration for the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly.
Where's he going with this?
Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery.
Eccentric? Says who? Not me. Don't give me that look.
He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop.
Oh! That's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device.
Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed.
The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question.
Okay.
As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion.
Desultory.
Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses are currently in the stand. Were not caught on the camera.
It's a bit of a friar tuck, eh, bruv?
Lady Luck loves a skulkin'. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? Must have been just after 1, right, bruv? Must have been, Nash. Must have been, yeah. Just gone 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment, what scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Oh, dear.
This is a holdup! I love it when An says that in P5.
Good lord! It's the defendant! Miss Gina Lestrade. As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter even. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom. Quite. One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel.
Oh my god. I want to examine that now, though. There's so much evidence that they give to you after the trial starts. It looks like her eyes are closed. Did she get knocked out? I don't believe it. Ginny.
In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windibank.
I say, my lord.
Wonder if I might put in a word at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a volley bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maiwan, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle after retirement, you see? The battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading this small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together, you mark my words. One for all and all for one. Okay. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Garrett Squadron's position, sir.
What? No, it's too soon to make a judgment here.
Status report for the court, men. On the double.
His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions too. I think you'll find the truth is clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it.
I wouldn't have left it in here. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember.
Situation clear.
No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop.
I am very, very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
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 Well, that's that.
Oh, guess trial's over.
It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already.
That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Ginny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination.
Very well, the court grants permission.
So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising.
We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
What did I think of the jury this time? So as soon as it like panned to them for the first time, I was like, oh shit, I recognize so many of them.
Open for business.
Hey, we're getting rated by Spec. Wow, thanks Spec, I appreciate it. Hi everybody. Oh, I see Mark is there. Queen Tuba Mom, welcome. Yes, and I love a good spectacular raid. You know it's true. Also, welcome Snow. Howdy, guys. Can anybody do a shout out for Mr. Spec SM for me, please? Yeah, I hope you're doing well too. I heard that you were sick for a little bit, so I hope that you're feeling better. Yeah, we're doing great. We're actually playing some great Ace Attorney for the Switch, and I think we're on the last trial. It's a pretty fun game. Thanks, King. Oh, you were playing COVID Life at the moment? Yeah. Yep. Everybody, stay inside. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Yeah, how are you liking Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? Good. Well, like I said, I hope, I wish you a speedy recovery and hope you evade the worst of it. But, yeah, I actually skipped getting this Pokemon game because I was kind of not super happy with the series after Sword and Shield, so I think I'm just going to wait for Gen 9. Oh, I see. Yeah, I've actually seen you do that before. You were playing like some kind of Pokemon MMO, and it was listed as Sword Shield. I'm like, what is this? That makes sense. Isn't this a prequel? So the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles has 2 games. Yes. And I do believe that this might be a prequel to the main Ace Attorney games. I've never played any of the other ones. You've only played the trilogy? I like it. It's a little goofy, but it definitely does some things really well. And this is like the conclusion of the first game. So this is going to kind of be spoilers if you guys intend on playing it yourself. Just a fair warning. Yeah, I would say it's been a solid experience. Sacred Gold and Storm Silver. Oh, I see. ROM hacks, yes. Ace Attorney is very goofy, yes. And goofy is not always something that I super duper love in video games, but it's working enough for me that I'm not mad at this. Basically, this is far in the past with the first of the lawyers, and most are based on characters that are recurring in the OG. Yes, yes, yes. I think maybe these are like probably the ancestors of Phoenix, right? If I had to guess. You've submitted yourself to a shiny only run of hell. Oh my god, Cortex, is that the one that you've been resetting for the Charmander on? Oh, nice. Jesus. You got a male Combi encounter? Oh, you're nuzlocking? So you had to take the male Combi? Oh, dear. Well, I hope you gave it a good name, Spec. It probably won't be with you very long, because I'm pretty sure Combi is complete garbage. You're pretty sure you can't get it at this point? Yeah, I thought that was your resolution, Cortex, that you found out you actually couldn't get the shiny Charmander for some reason. Oh, I see, I see. Whitney fucked you up? Uh-oh. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Oh yeah, I should probably say my little shtick to Specs Raid, but just in case it's your first time here, welcome. I'm Pangy, Paul, LPT, whatever you want. I play mostly turn-based games, sometimes visual novels, sometimes fighting games. There's a mix-mux of stuff. But I'm live all the time, and we love to hang out here, so thanks for being here. Yeah, the good kind of sick. Yes. Not the, like... Yeah, today we played Genshin Impact, Shin Megami Tensei 5, and The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. For probably the next 45 minutes-ish or so, and then I'm gonna feast on food, and I'm gonna try and get Kevin to play some RTA for the Discord or something for the rest of the night, so we'll see what we can do.
You will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
All right, I enjoy these summation examinations. They're kind of fun.
All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketeen.
Just remember, if you enjoy Pangy's content, there is another content creator who makes similar content called Sandra Lee. Steven. Thank you for gifting to Spec. Sorry, it's loud. No, it's okay. It is loud. I should turn that down. Although, I don't know what that's... I'm not sure which, Yeah, no, and Spec has one of my favorite emotes of all time, which is this one. I use this all the time. Let me fix my my bot real quick. I know, it works in so many situations. It's also a Pikachu emote, so I can use it to fight E-Tier when she uses hers. Where's my alert box? There it is. We're gonna turn it down to about this. I know. It was great before, and now with the animation to it, it is literally just perfect. Yeah, it's the shark. The shark-oo-woo and the sharka. Oh, King, you also have a spec subscription, do you? The taste level. Spec, were you playing? I think I saw you playing Path of Radiance. Was that today or yesterday? The weekend days really blend together. As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. I think you'll find that if you look at the photograph in the stereo, the truth will just pop out.
If I have left it in there, I should think there will be repercussions by now.
You don't want to talk about PR? What happened? Oh, you're doing Maniac mode. Those enemies are thick. Okay, Those enemies are freaking thick. I'm not sure how far you are in your play, but I remember almost running out of weapons before you had access to getting more. Yeah. You know what, though? I did enjoy Maniac mode. I did. But I am also a sucker for difficulty in those games. Boyd died with 3 of your axes? Oh. Save Boyd. No, you love doing Iron Man. Iron Man Maniac is actually... that is insane. Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission of verdict to stop. I mean, follow. Stop. This is the best juror, by the way. Oh, Jesus. You gave his lances to Titania. She is iconic, yeah. She had the typewriter before, right? Now she's doing this weird Morse code radio thing. In Motherland, we say never judge by cloth. Judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent. The circumstance of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. The storeroom locked from the inside in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. It's a telegraph, right? And in the accused's hands, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print. Is that the same gun? Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling that bally trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear. Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. Which means there's more to this situation than we've yet to see. Agreed. You have the floor, Counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. So we have to press everything, I suppose. Oh, shit.
Hold it!
Polishing the bench, I see, again. A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pick-purses, and cross men. The scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps. Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least, we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes? That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Ranced magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. Mr. Sholmes? A maid? It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Minor detail, it was the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective. They should. I think you'll find that if you look at the photograph in the stereo, the truth will just pop out. Okay, that's probably very significant, actually. What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo? Sorry? What? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously. But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is that if you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Oh, how did you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. It never gets old. Seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes, it's extraordinary, it's captivating, it's the height of modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find that the stereoscope is here to stay. Giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only it could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you.
If I've left it in there, I should think there will be repercussions by now.
Hold it!
What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that.
So sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon.
A surgeon? That totally passed me by.
Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors. Oh no! Even though me and my kind are the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field.
So, what is it that you think you've left behind?
Well, that's a little embarrassing to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Standard thing.
Oh god, he's the one that worked on Sholmes. Dean Sergeant If He Hears is so good. I know, Kevin showed it to me. It is really good. So random that they chose him, though. Very, very random.
Went in through the abdomen. But when I'd finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere.
What? Did he? Surely not.
Exactly. Surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, it's a little embarrassing, really.
That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter.
That's exactly my concern. Seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure.
I'm sure you need to be more sure. Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission. A verdict to follow. Stop.
Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes. From the Empire of Japan. All communications with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. Ah, but now we have an electric telegram, so we can send messages using electric signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds, connecting the entire world. Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? It makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You are well informed, young lady. But cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Messages carried over airwaves to 4 corners of globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear out your fingers. Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. I can't understand it. I really can't. Oh, they're just silly toys.
Excuse me.
Juror number 3? Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but... What? Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do! Say that again! Go on! I dare you! Goodness. Are you talking to me? I think he just might be, yes. He really is, Dots. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you, huh? Absolutely. I mean, really, a machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that evidence is going to be super important. What if we look at the print through the stereoscope and the dimensions show that Gina is, like, unconscious and that photo is a hoax? That's probably what's going to happen. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. You just don't know! Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you'd never even noticed before. What? Have you got any, Runo? Any prints we could look at with a stereoscope? How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think. Yeah, this one.
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can! What a great coincidence that Sholmes put 2 of these photographic interval taking machines. So now we have 2 pictures. Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all.
Take that!
Wait, sorry? What do you mean, one more print? Oh dear, don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? Runo? What? You need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember? You know, one for the left eye and one for the right. Oh yes, I remember now. But the print we have from the pawnbrokery is just a normal photograph. No. I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints. Thanks for the friendly explanation. Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show it to this young man then. Haha. I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me.
Let's get things back on track, shall we, Council?
All we need is another shot from a slightly different location, and we could see the scene in 3 dimensions. So that's probably going to happen later then. Okay. Can we get a stereo gun for this guy? Oh dear. I know, he's kind of annoying. It's unfortunate that he is going to definitely be a significant part of this trial.
In Motherland, we say, never judge by clothes. Judge by head. I am convinced. Brothers are innocent.
Hold it!
Please tell me you're not villain Bolshevik? The Russian revolutionary? Revolutionary? Oh my god, King.
Da. I believe there is such rumor.
It's just a rumor?
As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal.
Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out.
People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat.
And which glove fits?
Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like
Did
to
we
take
lose?
bus to
Oh,
Crystal
well,
Tower,
It
please.
isn't my fault.
Right. That didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts.
To be treated like a vicious criminal all the time. It is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for my brothers. People say that are criminals only because of how they look.
The Skulkin brothers?
Da. Maybe they went inside pawnbroker shop. But they have done nothing wrong. That is all they want. That is all what I want to say.
The Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night? Alright, well, first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding. I'll need to clear that up straight away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Runo? The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they? Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for who looks for all the world like a revolutionary. I wish I knew. If I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors, the trial will be over. But we know that Ginny would never shoot anyone. Yes, so we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. Okay, so we didn't press him the first go-around, so let's see what happens when we do. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketeer.
Hold it!
You're Mr. Natsume's landlord. Mr. Garadab, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this. Ah, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn-up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that, therefore, you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garadib house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out, and I couldn't get a Bali soul to take up the tenancies. Oh. Haven't had a heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do rather a lot, but not for us. That's for dash certain. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously. Obviously. But honestly, I really wish he'd pay more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2. Oh, I pit her against, what's his face?
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord! Counsel, explain yourself! Oh my statement, contradictory? Contradiction, C-O-N. Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick, I have mouse. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on that night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Surely you're not going to tell me, tell the court that you didn't hear. Abdomen. A-B-D. Sir? Sorry, my English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear. Forgive me, I did not hear. Ugh. Ah! Here is word. Abdomen, part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English, I am Russian, not native speaker. Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again? So, you are telling me these brothers who looked like criminals were lying. They said before we've never done nothing. The truth is they shot detective. This is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by person who look like criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This mean, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough! I trust no one now! It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir. I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. I'm afraid that won't be Yes, it is, Runo. Easy. Sorry? With the prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder. Ah, if you compare the print that pictures Ginny and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Cooey, Mr. Prosecutor.
Tut tut, calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times.
Also, how come nobody said anything about Iris being present? Like, with Susato, she was actually, like, our judicial assistant, so that made sense. But Iris is a 10-year-old girl that's just at the stand with me.
The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one.
Just Ace Attorney things.
Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later after the brothers' fight.
So this was taken after Hurley was shot then. As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. That does seem to be the case.
Oh, I see.
I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print.
So, the brothers who look like criminal told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing.
It would seem so, yes.
Good.
No, not good.
You were right, I did not understood situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial.
Yay, well done, Runo. The balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we just might turn the situation into our favor still.
Thank you, counsel. Continue with the summation examination. And kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence.
Ah, okay, so wait, now we can use another print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that.
In Lake of Lies are many dead fish. We must find truth, therefore I say not guilty verdict. What? What did...
We just said, like the lives of many dead fish. Fuck.
Okay, cool. So we'll press the third juror. Okay, so we press him.
Hold it!
Can it really show up new clues, though? Don't know unless you try. Okay.
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any two suitable photographic prints? course I can. Very well then. I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all.
Take that!
Alright, these two prints were both taken with this same camera in in Windibanks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer, do you know how stereographic images work?
Uh-oh.
What?
Seemed like the sound is frozen.
Oh, I thought you were going to say moldy and I was about to be very mad. Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the two images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were depth. Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in the two pictures that's really important. So what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene three-dimensionally anyway. Oh, of course, now I see. I think the young girl has discovered the secret. Oh god, faces. I have. Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? Have another look at these two pictures from Hurley's camera, Runo. Go on. And you see that there's a really obvious difference between them.
Do you see it, Paul? Do you see the obvious difference?
Of course there is. There are two people in the first and no people in the second. Well, yes, you can see that straight away. But now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions. Alright, I'll give it a go. So, to start with, you have to cross your eyes, and then try to make the two pictures overlap exactly. I know. I honestly, Steven, during the last stream where they had the 2 cat pictures and they were side by side, I'm like, am I supposed to be...
Cross your eyes, Paul, quick.
Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Wait. Well, did you manage to see it properly, Runo? Yes, I saw it. Ah! What's going on with these 2 pictures? Some of the things on the counter sort of jump out at you. It's the cross-eyed judge for me. Oh my god. Yes! That's it, you see. That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. Other amazing power? My lord. Is someone gonna explain this, black magic, eh? Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that, I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope? As I said before, if you try to look at 2 identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's the slight shift in the positions of certain objects that lets you see pictures 3-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems like the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures, this shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions. Yes, there must have been. Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. But why the devil does the shift between the two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. What? Me? I haven't the first idea. You know, Runo, it's quite simple. It is? Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then, 13 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some items on the counters appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Zonkers! Someone tampered? New information, stop. Not mentioned in testimony so far, stop. Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems, but I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting you might know? Of course. Yeah, by the crooks. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. It was Susato! Just kidding. Yeah, it's these freaks.
Take that!
It was the witnesses currently in the stand, the Skulkin brothers. Wait! This does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucky Locket. My phrasebook says duke is meaning hands and Lucky Lockets is meaning pockets. But is this another lie? Is this what you were saying? Yes, I'm afraid so.
Hold on there a minute. You can't be sure of that.
I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse, after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely.
And why exactly?
As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windibank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interests lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop. Giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. But the accused is a pick purse. Common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better, in fact worse, than a pick purse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves?
Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from the shady pair.
Oh my god. Why's he gotta do it with his head? Can you all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes aren't playthings. You've seen their extraordinary potential firsthand. Ooh. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop. Yeah, she is hands down my favorite juror. Oh, Garadeb didn't change his?
Well, it would seem the trial has yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call this summation examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean guilty, 4 lean not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order the trial to continue.
Yay, well done. Oh, by the way. What? You should hold on to this, Runo. You never know when it might come in useful. Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely, but alright.
Lord Van Zeeks, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them.
Here's the last close one answer, right?
Ooh. Thanks, Kev.
I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord.
I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least, and I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. Yay! What a good start to the trial. That was quite exciting, actually. I feel like this is a really well done case. Sweet. All right. I agree. I think it's good too, Steven. And I love that it's tied to the third case and that all the characters are coming from other cases. It's just nice. It feels like it's all wrapped up. But yeah, guys, I'm actually gonna call it there. Because I wanna have some time to relax, and I'm thinking I kinda wanna convince Kev to jump in Discord and stream some RTA or something. So I'm gonna eat my dinner. We're gonna call that as our ending point for tonight. And yeah, I'll see some of you guys in Discord. If not, I'll release stream schedule tomorrow. I don't know if we'll be live tomorrow or not, because Mondays are kind of dicey with my job, but we'll see. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging. And thanks again for the raid from Spec. That was super cool. All right, bye guys.